What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at a new sort of Fortnite series review. This one is about Chapter 2 Season 5. Because we are in Chapter 2 OG, I did think it would be the perfect time to go back in time and take a look at all the Chapter 2 sort of segments, all the Chapter 2 seasons. So what we're going to be doing is going straight into this one. And I would like to start at the Battle Pass. This is the Battle Pass which has Lexa in it, which is one of my personal favorite skins from the Battle Pass. She was the first ever cel-shaded skin to come into the game. This sort of anime skin, the first ever anime skin to be in the game. And she did bring the first ever anime skin to the item shop, which is her brother Orin. And these two are still very popular today. They had their own crew pass recently at the start of Chapter 3, and they are also getting their own Halloween variants this Halloween. So it is very exciting, it is very cool, it is very new, and it did pave the way for us to get some new sort of anime skins in the game. For example, Naruto, Dragon Ball, My Hero, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, and hopefully many more to come along the way as well. I'm still waiting for that Demon Slayer collab, and I just want to run around as a Nosuke. I'm gonna be honest, that'd be fucking sick. That's my dream collab right there. But speaking of collabs, this was the season of collabs. This was such a good season. We had Halo, we had Master Chief, we had Kratos, we had God of War, we had so many other characters like The Flash, Predator, Alien, Street Fighter. Everyone loved Chun-Li. We had The Walking Dead. We had so many new collabs come into the game. It was every week there was a new collab. Every week there was a new competition for you to try and win this collab skin early and also get it for free. It was insane. We even had two collab skins in the Battle Pass, one being Predator and the other being Mandalorian, who was tier 1. And we also had 100 being Grogu, or the child, which I thought was also really cool, and that was the only way to get Grogu until, as of recent, in Chapter 5, Season 3, he came back as a back bling in like a little pouch, so he's slightly different, but again, it was the only way to get Grogu if you did want him, and it was the sort of second season of The Mandalorian when that came out. That's when the sort of skin came into the game. He did also bring along his sniper rifle, which actually was a pretty cool gun, and you did have to kill the Mandalorian boss to get it. And the other skins in the item shop, and also the other skins in the Battle Pass, were shit. We had a Gladiator, terrible. We had a walking sort of stack of pancakes, shit. We had a robot lady, shit. We had a gladiator lady, shit. We had a hooded guy, he was alright, I quite liked him. And then we also had Lexa, like I mentioned earlier. Gonna be honest, the skins were decent. I guess they did have some story prevalence, and I did quite like that because, again, this is where the story really started to ramp up. We had Jones sort of giving us weekly missions, weekly quests through the phone, so we could listen to him, hear him, talk to him, get lore details. And then we also had Fortnite posting every week a teaser for the next sort of collaboration that was coming for us all to sort of guess. And we also had content creators being sent packages with a little teasers inside saying which the new collaborations we were going to be getting, and that's what I really liked, that's what I really enjoyed. I thought it was really cool, just the theorizing, the mystery around it, the sort of interaction with the community, which they don't really have anymore. They don't really do much of this sort of promotion, interaction with the community, theorizing with the community anymore. It just wasn't. It was so exciting, we just don't have that anymore, and it is quite upsetting because I did think it was such a good way for them to promote the game and sort of get hype around it and keep the hype going throughout the full season. The weapons, I'm going to be honest, were pretty shit this time around. Sinking into the sand and the sort of Mando sniper were pretty mid, and I hated sinking into the ground. It was annoying when you were trying to hide and you just accidentally fall underground and make a load of noise. You know, I wasn't good at Fortnite when this season came out. I was still a pretty fresh baby, still a pretty fresh noob. So I was still hiding. I wasn't the best builder, and yeah, it was pretty shit. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't the greatest. The entire sand biome was ugly, and there was not a lot of natural cover, so we didn't really go there too often, and the new locations were like Butter Barn and these sort of houses, the sort of grotto, the sort of new homes, the sort of real estate, these new sort of houses for these sort of bounty hunters, which was just below the 0 point, and I'm gonna be honest, the houses were pretty shit. I much preferred the Sentinel Graveyard. I thought that was a lot more cool, a lot more interesting, gave a little bit more of an extra bit of gameplay with the sort of bounce sort of pathway that they had. But we also had like Colossal Coliseum in quotation marks because it isn't that colossal. It is smaller than the other two Colosseums we had in the game prior, which is obviously the football field and obviously on the block as well, both of which were bigger than the quote-unquote Colossal Coliseum. And it wasn't even that good of a location. It was quite boring, it was very empty, it was very basic. It did swap between 3 different designs, like there was one with water, one with like barely anything inside, and one with like a giant Trojan horse. So there was a couple of different designs which I quite liked. It just gave a little bit more personality, but it was still pretty boring and still pretty mediocre. Other than that, there wasn't really much else to do with map changes, there wasn't much else story-wise, and there wasn't much else skin-wise either. I'm gonna be honest, it was a pretty okay season. I do like this season because of all the collaborations we got, because again, it's what got me to spend my money, it's what got me to buy more and more V-Bucks, and I still buy V-Bucks to this day to get all these different collaborations in the game, because I do think they are really cool, and I am a huge fan of the collaborations that this game has. And it is still a game that I play very often, and I still make videos on it to this day, so, you know, I am getting my money's worth out of my skins and out of the gameplay, so it is definitely worthwhile that it is the only game that I spend money on, I'm gonna be honest. But it was a pretty dire time. We was all coming out of COVID, we was all coming out of sort of being trapped inside for months and months on end, so I do understand why the player base did drop off a little bit, because again, everyone wasn't like inside anymore. We were allowed to start going outside again when this season did drop, and I don't know, I quite like this one. Everyone says this one's a bit of a shit one, but I quite liked it. Again, all the collaborations, all the hype was really cool. People did get sick of the collaborations after a while, and they did start complaining about it. But then again, you can't really complain about the collaborations if you are the one buying the collaborations. If you keep buying them, they're gonna keep putting them out, and that's what I've said from the get-go. If you keep buying the collaboration skins, they're gonna keep putting them out. You can't just complain about them and buy them. That's like hypocritical. That's like double standard. You're complaining about something that you're buying. Like something ain't adding up in your head there. But again, I think this season is still pretty good and is still deserving of a pretty high ranking. So I am going to give this season a pretty solid 6 out of 10. Again, not the best in like weapons wise or story wise, but the battle pass was good, the collaborations was good, and I had fun playing it. I'm gonna be honest, this was still like the peak of like Fun Family Fortnite, where I was playing it every night, sort of going on, and it was after this season that the drop-off really started. It was during the primal season that everyone started to come on Fortnite less and less and less, and that is quite upsetting. I will be honest, that was quite an upsetting change, but you know, sometimes change is a good thing, and change was not a good thing in this case. I'm going to be honest, change was not a good thing in this case. So, if you do want to like continue this journey with me as we take a look through all of the Chapter 2 seasons, do come back tomorrow for when we take a look at Chapter 2 Season 6. And if you want to take a look at everything else that we've talked about with Chapter 2 from Chapter 2 Season 1, Chapter 2 Season 2, Chapter 2 Season 3, and Chapter 2 Season 4, which I've done over the past 4 days. You can go check those out right now on the channel, as those videos are uploaded and live, so you can go watch them for yourself, and it does let YouTube know that my videos are worth watching, my videos are entertaining, and that you like them. And if you do like my videos, it would really help me out if you do hit the like button down in just down below. Also hit subscribe, because 98% of you aren't subscribed, and that does make me cry myself to sleep at night. That does make me rather sad. And you know, if you want to help me get a better night's sleep, hit that subscribe button. I know red buttons can be scary, but you know, it's worth it. You've made it like 10 minutes into this video, so you're obviously here to the end, you're obviously enjoying it, you're obviously excited by my content, and you're thrilled by my content, and you want to have more in your life and in your news box. And I know red buttons can be stereotypically scary because they do make stuff explode, but I promise you that is not going to happen here. And what will happen is that it's free, and you can always change your mind later if you do decide you don't actually like my stuff. So please do consider subscribing, and if you want to also help me in Fortnite, Fall Guys, Rocket League, or the Epic Store, you can use code GoofyTicket03, all caps, no spaces, in all of these places to help me out. If you don't want to use my code, please make sure you do use someone's code, as it is very important and will help them out as well. Hashtag ad, hashtag epic supporter, but other than that, I'm actually done now. I'm going to let you get on with the rest of your day, so goodbye.